I've been making videos for over 10 years, and I've also taught video editing for over 5 years, which means I've had to learn a lot of different editing softwares. And if I had to start over from scratch, there are 5 things I would do to get me back to that pro level fast. And I think the most important and hardest thing to do to learn video editing is to just throw yourself into it. I think it was actually 2016 when I first was learning Premiere Pro, and I remember opening it up and being like, oh my gosh, I am never editing in this. There's so many buttons and screens and things. I'm going to stick with my basic Wondershare video editor that had a little button where I could turn on basic mode, where it would like remove all the tools and just allow me to like drop clips in. And the only way I was actually able to learn Premiere Pro is I literally forced myself. I said, I am not allowed to edit with my old simple editor. I must throw myself into this, and when I come across a problem, I will just look it up. I will have to learn how to overcome it. So I threw myself in. It was like, I don't know how to trim. Let me go to Google or YouTube and figure out how to trim. I want to add this effect. Let me look up and figure out how to do this. And it was hard and it was painful, but because I was actively using the tool and practicing and learning what buttons do what things, I eventually built that skill. So it may seem horrible, but I think that's probably the best way to start learning the basics of video editing. Now, once you've learned the basics and the manual way to edit videos, I would next recommend to start exploring plugins. And a plugin is essentially a software that works with your editor. You'll usually find these for Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. Usually the 3 main editors have a lot of plugin support. And what it's gonna allow you to do is kind of cheat your way into making way better videos in less time. Now, if I was starting over again, there'd probably be 2 main plugins I would be using. The first one would be Epidemic Sound, which is actually sponsoring this video. And what Epidemic Sound is going to get you is over 50,000 music tracks and over 200,000 sound effects that are safe to use anywhere online. They also make it really easy to find the music you want to use for your videos because they have it all sorted by genre or the mood you're trying to go for your video. And something else that's really cool that they just added is you can now paste a Spotify link into the search bar, and Epidemic Sound will find music that sounds like that artist. So for example, one of my favorite songs, Can You Hear the Music from the movie Oppenheimer? I can literally click copy song link, and I don't even have a Spotify account. I just search Spotify, whatever song I want, and I can just copy that link, and I can just paste it up here, and it is going to find music in their library that sounds like it. This one is described as suspenseful, so let's take a listen. That's pretty good. Whew. So yeah, this makes it super easy to find a song that sounds like a popular artist that you can use, and you don't have to worry about those copyright claims. And you can use Epidemic Sound directly from their website or using their plugin that works with Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve. And because this is being uploaded around Black Friday, Cyber Week, you can actually get 50% off of their annual plans with my code and link in the description. This is not something they offer every single day, so if you want to soundtrack your content, hop on it. You won't regret it. Now, the other plugin I'd recommend checking out is Firecut AI. And what this will do is instead of having to go through and trim out all the silent parts yourself, it'll automatically go through and cut out all the silences. So all you have to do is just review the footage, remove bad takes, and you're done. Now, I wish I would have known about this sooner, but I only discovered it about 8 months ago and have not stopped using it ever since. This video has been cut by Firecut AI. Definitely recommend trying it out. The link for that will be in the description. But the main thing here is you want to be paying attention to these things because now we are really in the AI age. And AI is going to completely transform video editing. At some point, AI will take over video editing completely, I would think. And so you want to keep your eye out on all these different plugins. There's probably new ones coming out that I don't even know about. So if you can stay on top of these, it's just going to make your entire editing process a lot easier. But first, make sure you are learning the manual way. Next, I try to join some kind of creator community. Like this could be a Facebook group, a Discord, a school group, just to be a part of something with other creators who are editing videos where they're able to watch your content and be able to give you feedback. Now, obviously, If you join some of these groups, you're probably gonna be around other beginners, so they're not gonna be these like elite video editors, but they may be a few steps ahead of you. So they can still give feedback to you and be like, hey, I'd make this change, I'd make this adjustment, just because they are just a few steps ahead. And that actually might be more relevant versus having some, you know, million subscriber guy tell you what to do. You're having someone who's just a few steps ahead saying, yeah, I'd make this change, this is what helped me. The next thing I would try and do is study and recreate parts of videos from YouTubers I like. And what I mean by that is maybe you see something that they're doing, an effect, and you're like, I want to recreate that. I really like how that looks. I want to learn how they do it. So you try and recreate it yourself. So as you're watching some of your favorite creators, you know, pay attention to what they do, whether it's how they color grade, you know, trying to recreate the same color grade they have, or a text effect or a transition or something like that. You know, that is ultimately doing these experiments and trying different things out and trying to recreate different things is going to teach you a lot about video editing. And kind of around that same concept, I would also encourage you to watch YouTube content around your video editor. There's always going to be people out there teaching video editing and different tricks and hacks and how to do something in a better way and keyboard shortcuts and things like that. I would be regularly consuming that content, so that way you are learning all the little hacks and things like that to make the editing process better. And sometimes these channels even have tutorials on some of the bigger YouTubers effects that they do, or they'll actually show you how to achieve that certain result. Or if you're someone who's getting more into the filmmaking side, doing the different special effects that exist out there, how you can actually make those in your editor. But the one thing I would try and avoid is just passively consuming that content. If you do watch something like that, try and apply it right away. Otherwise, you know, it's essentially just entertainment for you if you're not actually taking that information and applying it and trying to do the same effect. And while I don't know which video editor you're using, I did put together a video on how to make really good opening hooks and intros so people stay watching your videos. If you go and check that out, I think it's going to help you make better content. So I hope to see you over there.